I've been telling people since 2020 to prepare, and here's what I'm about to say, is you should start preparing now. I'm gonna share with you a perspective that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. We're gonna get detailed into the facts, figures, numbers, logic, but what I need you to do is do your own research. This is my research and how I positioned myself. But news like this just keeps coming out. I'm gonna take you deeper into the layers, and I'm gonna try to break it down at a very, very easy level for people to understand. But if you're the head of the household, you should be preparing now. So the Trump media organization just took over 19% of the supply of CRO, Crypto.com. The Trump media company is the number 8 Bitcoin treasury in the world. Trump has created World Liberty Financial along with Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Barron Trump, and please study the Witkoff family, who is owners as well of World Liberty Financial, which is a DeFi bank. This is where I need you to pay attention. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. Is Trump now has the fastest growing stablecoin, USD1. Now I want to make this very clear. USD1, Ripple RLUSD, Tether stablecoin. Those are just stable coins. It'll show $1 when you go to store your money in it. It's stable. It's a storage of value. It's not an investment. You're not going in it to make money. So USD1, Trump has the fastest growing stablecoin. Now, why would he be getting in the stablecoin game? And why would he run as the Bitcoin capital of the world and the crypto capital of the world and feverishly and quickly get the Stablecoin Act passed? Well, if you go deeper into this stuff, instead of just believing hype and price predictions and all this bullshit, is you would go deeper into understanding the infrastructural change. Is stablecoin, the Genius Act, well, what do stablecoins become stable from? U.S. treasuries. And what was happening with the bond market in U.S. treasuries in America? It was falling apart. America's at 120% debt to income ratio. If you followed my channel since 2020, I showed you how the bond market inverted, then it re-inverted. Nobody was buying treasuries. America's the world's reserve currency because we sell debt. Well, nobody wanted our debt. We're at 120% debt to income ratio. The dollar is collapsing 99% since the Federal Reserve was created. Your buying power since 2020 to 2024 got sucked out 19% of it. They had a bond auction, nobody showed up. Nobody was buying treasuries. But what do stablecoins use to be stable? Treasuries. What does Scott Bessent want? Stablecoins. What does Trump have? A stablecoin. What did Bo Hines just do? He stepped down from the executive director of digital assets with Trump and then went off to work for Tether. And he just did a video that says, I want to bring Tether to America and make it the number 1. So we'll have RLUSD, Ripple, an American company, stablecoin. USD1, Trump. World Liberty Financial, stablecoin, America. And Bo Hines steps down with Trump, heads over to Tether, a foreign company, and wants to bring Tether and make it number 1 in America. A stablecoin. It's called the Genius Act for a reason. Genius. Because it will stabilize the American economy because they'll be buying a shitload of debt to make them stable coins. So it keeps the American dollar the world reserve currency. But pay attention. The elites know that this system can't continue. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's why they're stacking Bitcoin. That's why they're stacking deflationary assets like XRP. These are fixed supply assets that aren't like the US dollar. You can't just print it, and they grow in value over time because of their scarcity. So now do you see why I think cash is trash? And now do you see why XRP is my number 1 holding and Bitcoin is my number 2? And I don't listen to haters, I don't listen to naysayers because I'm living in the ecosystem. I grew my XRP by 800% since 2020, my Bitcoin by 200%. I store my cash in those asset classes. You don't have to do that. I did it. But I'm also got a very badass ecosystem that's like the richest man in Babylon. Cash flow. Deflationary assets, things like XRP and Bitcoin. I move it into every month. I pump money into my cash value life insurance premiums, creating number 4, which is leverage. So when I profit from number 2, deflationary assets, I hold Bitcoin, put that off to the side. My altcoins, I stuff 50% of my altcoin profits into cash value life insurance. And now I have 2 banks. I got a Bitcoin bank, and if you own 1 Bitcoin, there's less than 1 million people in the world that own 1 Bitcoin. And why do I hold that? That's where I store my US dollar. You can do gold, you can do silver. My point behind this is I don't care if you use crypto, I don't care if you use Bitcoin, I don't care if you use interest runs the system. Your cash is the bank's profit. So here's what's going to happen. Bitcoin will become the most valuable asset in the world, or a value. Technologies, I call them technologies, things like XRP will change the way money moves through the system. Stable coins will be the new way that people transact and store their US dollars or their currency within their country. And American stable coins will be the most desirable stable coins because America is still the dominant, most stable currency. And it was genius, the Genius Act, because that forces people to buy what? Treasuries to balance out their stable coin. So everybody will be creating stable coins and they'll use US treasuries. Genius. So the US dollar is not going to collapse. It's going to transform into a stable coin. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. Money's going to be programmable. Bitcoin will be the new gold. I didn't create the system. Just understand it. Favorite part of the Bible. It's when they mocked Jesus. It said, who do we give our taxes to? It said, who's on the coin? It said, Caesar. He said, give your taxes to Caesar. Give to God what is his. Give to me what is mine. God, family, protect your ecosystem at all costs. So what does that mean, man? You should be studying this stuff. You shouldn't be just listening to a bearded guy on social media. You should be studying. You should be understanding. If you're the head of a household, you should create a budget. And then when you learn this stuff, we have to teach your family. That's our responsibility as men, to protect, to provide, and to create an ecosystem that our family can be proud of. So stay with me on this narrative. I'm going to go deeper and deeper and deeper because I'm learning just like you guys. But I sure as hell am not going to sit back and let them take my buying power and take my family's wealth. I love you guys. Warriors!